On this week's episode of the State Champs Esports Show, we have an amazing collection of cosplayers, a game walkthrough, and much more. Welcome back, I'm Candace, and thanks for joining me for this episode of the State Champs Esports Show. We're brought to you all summer long by Lawrence Tech, Army Michigan, and Hungry Howie's. Most gamers simply enjoy playing and competing as their favorite characters, but some are compelled to take it to the next level by actually becoming them.
This is Brotherhood of Steel from Fallout 4. As you can see, these are made of EVA floor mats. They took 4 days to make.
I actually ended up using the soundtrack from the game for Diamond City Radio and put a little Bluetooth speaker inside of the suit so that way when I'm walking around, it's as if you have the music playing like you would in the game.
I'm cosplaying a demon hunter from Diablo 3. I made all the foam parts. My friend helped me with the hood and the skirt. My dual crossbows.
I'm Tracer from Overwatch. So this is all 3D printed with PLA material from the front. I put LED lights in here. These are made out of foam. And then I styled the wig myself, and the pants I found online and the shoes I found online, but the jacket I made myself.
I'm dressed as Commander Morrison or Soldier 76 from Overwatch. Solid working time if I were to work through everything without stopping, probably close to 3-4 months.
It took about 4.5 months to do from beginning to start, with time looking on YouTube on how to build things like the foam armor and stuff. So a little bit of research time as well involved.
Well, I'm wearing a Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine costume. Essentially, if you know this space, you know that this is an Ultramarine base, and I'm just about 7'1" in the full armor with the halo on the back. And I'm carrying my plasma pistol, and James, of course, has my chainsword for hacking through the enemy that needs a little bit of chopping. These are templated suits, so basically what you're doing is you're cutting out templates onto foam. The whole suit weighs about 30 pounds, and all it is basically heat-shaped, glued in place with hot glue, and then just formed to the body type.
Songbird, BioShock Infinite. Well, I've been working on it a little bit for about a year, so every piece is made by me.
Well, this is Princess Hilda. She is from Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. I had a little help from my boyfriend. This is PCB pipe, and then this is kind of like the pink foam like you put in your walls. We kind of painted it. Zelda's my absolute favorite. It's probably my first one that I went really hard on and pretty all custom made.
This outfit I've been working on for years. I've always had the Link outfit, and I've been working on it forever. It takes a long time. It does, it really does. Especially trial and error. When I first started out, I had no idea.
Have you played the indie game Dead Cells yet? If not, our team has put together this segment to entice you to give it a try.
Dead Cells is a roguelite, Metroidvania action platformer developed by Motion Twin and released to PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch in 2018, as well as mobile ports for both iOS and Android. If you don't know, a roguelite game is a procedurally generated map that is different every time you go through. In the game, you play as a nameless prisoner trying to escape from the prison, going through different biomes while defeating different monsters and avoiding traps and collecting coins and cells in order to trade for upgrades, perks, and new weapons. Speaking of weapons, there are plenty of them. From the standard sword and bow and arrow to the awesome Spartan sandals, impaler, whips, lightning bolts, boomerangs, shields, grenades, there are plenty of choices. On your journey, you come across different bosses. There are 4 in the base game and 3 more through various DLC. The game does have a permadeath system where if you die, you will lose all the money and cells you have collected unless you have a perk to keep some of it, and will start back at the beginning to try and get through it all again. If the vanilla game is too easy for you, after you beat it once, you can add on boss cells, which increases the difficulty and can take away the number of refills you get for your health potions. You can get the game now on Steam and from the stores of your favorite console. Have fun and good luck.
All right, thanks, Chuck. And now to round out the show, we've got a great interview for you to check out.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jason Raj Jr. alongside Dylan Chapman, the Vice President of the Michigan High School Esports Federation. Dylan, how are you doing on this wonderful Thursday afternoon?
I'm doing great, Jason. Thanks for having me.
We appreciate having you. Thanks for joining me. I wanted to start off by touching on something that we just talked about off camera. You mentioned that when the Michigan High School Esports Federation was just getting underway, there were maybe 3 or 4 schools getting together in the summertime, dreaming of what it could be down the road. Now you have over 40 plus registered members here. How did it reach that point? What was the key to the growth?
Really, it was all grassroots, collective experience through other national leagues that schools had participated in, and thought this just wasn't providing what we needed. Through word of mouth and through connections of different teachers, athletic directors, tech coordinators at schools, we kind of have gotten some exposure here. We go to conferences around the state too to promote what esports is, what the possibilities for students are. And through those conferences, such as the Wired Traverse City Conference or the McCall Conference or the Maids Conference, we picked up quite a few schools that are interested in participating. Also, schools have been really looking for an esports opportunity that was Michigan run and kind of a turnkey operation, and we provide those supports for schools, and that just helps to grow our brand, our product, and what we're trying to do for students in schools.
You mentioned, what you're trying to do for students in schools. I read that a part of the vision is to create a place where esports are viewed as a positive change and a developmental change for any student who's looking to get into it. How do you go about trying to make that a reality?
Well, esports faces a lot of stigma, as I'm sure a lot of your viewers already know. A lot of people of a different mindset think that there should be less video games, not more. When you see a student that's highly interested in video games or video game culture, you have to look at it as far as like, what if a student was really interested in auto mechanics or the car industry? You put that kid in a place where they're going to excel. And that's how we kind of pitch esports, is that when these students have these built-in interests, give them an outlet and watch what they can do, because they're going to be the developers, the game changers, the problem solvers of the future. They just need a platform to stand on, and esports is that platform.
You guys are such innovative, creative thinkers, as we just noticed there. When it comes to thinking about the Michigan High School Esports Federation and what it could become down the road, what are your goals for even more expansion?
Well, we'd like to incorporate more schools around the state. We have one school in the UP so far. Esports is a great opportunity for them to participate remotely, and they don't have the hurdle of the weather to get over. So we'd like to see more expansion into other parts of the state. Eventually, we'd like to, we are working in lockstep with the Great Lakes region, which is affiliation of schools on a state-by-state basis that are developing esports programs. So hopefully we can do some state championships and then do some regional championships and then hopefully national championships down the line in the future.
Dylan, that sounds awesome. It was a pleasure to chat with you today. Always learning about the ever-growing industry of esports. Dylan, you're a central figure in it. Pleasure to have you with us. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, and we have made it to the end of another show, but fear not, because we'll have an all-new episode of State Champs Esports next week. Thank you to Lawrence Tech, Army Michigan, and Hungry Howie's for helping us spread the joy of gaming. I'm Candace, and I'll catch you next time.